I always call it like trying to create a party in your mouth. I'm Selin Kiazim, chef and owner of Oklava in Shoreditch. My cooking is inspired by my Turkish Cypriot heritage. Obviously Cyprus is a little island, and I always describe the food very much as island cooking. So it's about what you find on the island, what's grown. And you know, my grandparents used to grow everything that they ate, literally everything, and produce their own cheeses, their own meats. They have an insane garden of their own, and that was, you know, long old summers in Cyprus. That was really the inspiration for this restaurant when I started kind of dreaming up about the fact that I wanted to be cooking over fire and the things that were important to me. I found myself often thinking back to my grandmother's cooking. Turkish Cypriot cooking is very fresh, very vibrant, and something like this grilled hellim cheese here, more commonly known as halloumi, I think encompasses some of the really important ingredients of Cyprus. One, obviously the cheese is their national cheese. We have lots of olive oil over it, lemon juice, and this dried oregano known as kekik. First time I came across the word umami was when I was working at the Providors restaurant in Marylebone. There was a head chef there called Miles Kirby. We used to have trays and trays of roasted tomatoes constantly on the go. You'd cook them to they're kind of like a sun-blushed kind of look. Just with salt, pepper, olive oil. And then sometimes, obviously, inevitably, they'd end up like over-caramelizing a little bit. But that was actually really delicious as well. And I remember this tray kind of going on the shelf for the wash-up where the tomatoes had been sitting. And he like took a little bit of it and he was like, that looks amazing. And I just remember seeing him like take a swipe of it. And then he was like, that's umami. And I was like, what's that? And then I kind of found myself, I guess, just looking up and seeing what that was about. And then over the years, I think the word umami is being thrown out there a lot more. And there's a lot more intrigue over it. And so it's happening all over the place, I think, in all sorts of plates of food without people even realizing that it's going on. The meaning of umami for me is really a combination of flavors. I mean, if I stop and think about it, I think it's how I always create my dishes, but without actually realizing that I heavily influence my dishes with a lot of umami. And doing this is actually really interesting because it's made me realize that about the various recipes that I have at the restaurant and also in the book, how I always call it like trying to create a party in your mouth. So that's what I'm always trying to do with plates of food. I want people to come here and be wowed and the taste buds to pop.